Hi, my name is Vanessa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use Differin Daily Deep Cleanser, which contains 5% of benzoyl peroxide, which is an acne treatment. So it is ideal if you have acne prone skin and you want to improve it. Basically reduce your acne over time and keep it a bit more under control while using the product. And so when working with this cleanser, please make sure that you're not going to use it if you have sensitive skin, because then it can lead to irritation, which we wanted to avoid. However, it does not specifically tell you for whom it is suitable, other than if you have acne prone skin, you can use this cleanser. But since benzoyl peroxide can lead to dryness, my best advice would be using it only if you have combination to oily skin, because then you may benefit from it if it's going to make your skin less oily. However, if you have already dry skin, then it can make your skin even drier, and this may lead to irritation over time. Now, of course, you can balance it out with using, for example, a moisturizer along with it, but I do want to quickly emphasize this as well, so that in case you should come across like too much dryness, then it's best to stop using it, because it's not the point to irritate your skin, it's about improving your acne prone skin. And so when working with this cleanser, there is a specific guide on how you can get started with it and how you can increase the frequency over time. And so my best advice would be start off slowly and then increase the frequency if you should feel the need, since you can use this cleanser daily, once, twice, or up to 3 times per day. Now, I do want to make you aware of that 3 times per day is quite a lot, and it can really lead to dryness or even irritation. So therefore, my best advice would be start off by using it once per day, every other day. Do this for 2 to 3 weeks to see how your skin is doing while doing this current routine. And if you feel like, well, it's going well, it gives me some improvements, then keep on going with it. There's no need to increase it if it gives you the benefits already and you can see a decrease in your acne. However, if you feel like, well, it's not doing much if I'm using it every other day, once per day, and I do not really come across dryness, then of course you can go ahead and increase the frequency by using it once per day daily. Again, do this for some time before thinking of either adjusting it and increasing it or reducing it. If you feel like, well, it's not even strong enough, I want to use it twice per day daily, then this would be the next step. However, if you then feel like, well, I'm coming across dryness after using it for 2 to 3 weeks in one go, then of course you need to adjust the frequency again, and then you may want to give your skin a break or want to reduce the frequency by just using it once per day or every other day, so that you can adjust it accordingly on how your skin is going to respond to it. Because if you're not going to adjust it, it can really lead to extreme dryness, which then potentially lead to irritation, and that's something what we're trying to avoid. Therefore, keep the frequency in mind when working with this cleanser and start off slowly and adjust it over time. And so now when working with this cleanser, you can either use it above the sink when washing your face above the sink, or you can use the cleanser with you in the shower if that's a bit more convenient for you and you like to use your cleanser in the shower anyway when washing your hair and face at the same time. So then go ahead and do so. There's nothing wrong with it. Either way is fine. The one thing won't change, and this is how you're going to use the cleanser. And this now brings me to the next point that I do want to make you aware of. Since we are working with benzoyl peroxide, it may bleach fabric. And I'm talking about experience, because when I first started off using benzoyl peroxide, I did bleach some of my toes, which were dyes. And so ever since this happened, I'm always going to be careful with it, and I like to use only white towels when working with benzoyl peroxide. It doesn't matter if it's a cleanser or treatment. When washing your face, your hands, and you want to get the product off, make sure that everything properly comes off so that there's no residue left. And if you can, I advise using white washcloths or even white towels, so that you won't mess up your beloved towels or even clothes. And it may bleach hair as well, so please make sure that when using it on your face, that you're really making sure that everything comes off, that it's not getting stuck in your hair, so that everything is easily to remove and that you won't come across any bleaching. This could be your hair or even your fabric or even your towels. And so this is really important when working with it, so that you're not going to mess things up. Now I do want to quickly go over a morning and evening skincare routine so that you have an idea of how you can adjust it depending on the time that you're going to use it and depending on your needs. And so when using the Benzoyl Peroxide Cleanser in your morning skincare routine, this is the first step that you're going to do. Wash your face with it, pat the skin dry, and then it is advised to follow with either a moisturizer that already contains SPF or with a regular sunscreen. As you can see, as an example, I have Cetaphil's Derma Control Oil Absorbing Moisturizer with SPF. That's a great one if you have like oily, acne-prone skin, since it is very lightweight, and at the same time it contains also sun protection. Now, sun protection during daytime when being exposed to the sun is important so that you can protect the skin and not damage it any further. Now I'm talking about when really being exposed to the sun. If you're living or if you're being the entire day at home, you're not living in a glass house, there's no like sunlight that's hitting your face the entire day, then don't worry about it. Just using a moisturizer afterwards, if you should feel the need, without SPF is doing it as well. Just make sure to protect the skin with an SPF when going outside, being exposed to the sun. And when it comes to an evening skincare routine, again, you would use the cleanser at first, and then if you should feel the need, follow with a moisturizer. As an example, I have CeraVe's PM Moisturizing Lotion, which I do think is great as well if you have acne-prone skin. It is a very light version of it and does really the job of balancing it out if you should come across a bit of dryness. However, again, as already mentioned, if you should come across like a bit more dryness where a light moisturizer may not do it anymore, my best advice would be either adjusting the frequency of it, or it's best to stop using it if you really come across like pilling or even redness, swelling, or even like extreme dryness. Then it's best to stop using it, because those are signs of irritations which are definitely not worth it when working with this cleanser to control your acne, because then you're going to damage your skin too much. And so you need to find the right balance. If you feel like you have a drier skin type, you need to use a bit more of a heavier moisturizer, go ahead and do so to adjust it accordingly to your skin type and needs. But make sure they won't clog your pores and won't make your acne worse when using a moisturizer afterwards. Now, if you now say, well, I have oily skin and I really like that the Benzoyl Peroxide Cleanser makes my skin less oily, and you do not feel the need of using a moisturizer at all, then that's fine too. You just can use the cleanser on its own, and there you have it. So this can also be beneficial if you have oily, acne-prone skin. Now I want to move on to the application. As I already mentioned, I'm now going to show you how you can use it when washing your face above the sink, but again, it's fine to use this cleanser in the shower as well. The steps won't change. And so when working with it, it is advised to use it on wet skin. So the first step that you're going to do is now wetting your face and neck with lukewarm water to warm water, and then use a bit of the cleanser and then massage it onto the skin. So let's go ahead and do this. So once you have wet the skin, go ahead, use a bit of the Benzoyl Peroxide Cleanser in the palm of your hand, about a coin size amount, more or less. And then you can use it between your hands and then start off by gently massaging it all over your face and neck. Now please make sure to avoid the eye area. Do not get it into your eyes, nor into your nose, nor into your mouth. If that should be the case, please rinse it immediately with water. And when massaging the cleanser all over your face and neck, you can do this for about 30 seconds to a minute. Now, one thing that I do like to do myself when I'm using a Benzoyl Peroxide Cleanser is I like to take a bit of extra time only on the areas where I specifically suffer from acne. Since you do not always have acne all over your face, so if you have like difficulties on your forehead, then take your time and massage the cleanser specifically on your forehead, or if it's on your jawline or your cheeks, then take your time to massage it in for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then you're going to rinse it off with water. And so once you have massaged it all over your face and neck, and went specifically over the acne areas, then you now can go ahead and again rinse it off with lukewarm water to warm water. Again, make sure that you're not getting it into your eyes, nor into your nose, nor into your mouth. And so you can just wash it off by using your hands. If that's working well for you, go ahead and do so. However, if you should come across troubles and you feel like you couldn't properly wash it off, then my best advice would be, again, as already mentioned earlier, using a washcloth. Just make sure that it's a light one, like a white one, and then wet it, and then you can use it and gently swipe it across your face so that everything comes off. So once you have washed it off, you now can go ahead and take a fresh towel and pat the skin dry. So now once you're done using your Benzoyl Peroxide Cleanser, you now can go ahead and either just leave it as it is, if that's fine for you, or if you now feel the need of following with a moisturizer afterwards, that's fine. Go ahead and use your favorite moisturizer that's working well for you. Use about 1 to 2 pumps, or about a pea-size amount, and then evenly apply it over your face and neck to balance it out if you should come across dryness. But when it comes to your morning routine and you're planning on being exposed to the sun, like going outside, then again, I cannot stress it enough, sun protection is important. And so this is now where I want to keep my focus on. I'm going to use Cetaphil's Derma Control Moisturizer with SPF, which is a very lightweight one. And when applying it to the skin, what's important to keep in mind is use enough. So you're first of all going to apply your sun protection 10 to 15 minutes before sun exposure, and then use enough. So about half a teaspoon for your face and neck, and about a teaspoon for your face, neck and décolletage. This is like an overall general guide, which of course can be adjusted. If you feel like it's going to be way too much, you're ending up with too much sunscreen still on your hands, then reduce it by the next time. If you feel like you have not used enough, then of course use a bit more. What's important is that you're using enough sun protection so that you can evenly apply it over the area where you're being exposed to the sun to protect the skin, since you have worked with a Benzoyl Peroxide Cleanser. So I'm going to use my teaspoon right here, and I'm going to use about half a teaspoon for my face and neck. About that much, more or less. Then use it in your hands. Of course, once you know how much you're going to use, you do not need to use a teaspoon anymore. This is just so that you can see it visually. Use it in the palm of your hand and then gently blend it all over your face and neck, and maybe décolletage as well. So, and once you have applied your sun protection all over your face, neck and maybe décolletage, then you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Now you only need to reapply your sunscreen throughout the day if you have been exposed to the sun for several hours, or you went for a swim or had outdoor activities where the sunscreen can move around, wear off, or basically like break down. Then the reapplication during daytime is important to keep the protection going. And this would be a very simple example of a so-called morning routine when following with sun protection. Now this is what I wanted to share with you, and I do hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you find it helpful, please don't forget to give the thumbs up as well as share it, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skin caring. Bye!